That's my disclosure slides. Just want to share with you how it started in Malaysia. So there was this two men who actually met up with me. So Mr. Paul Raj and also Dr. Michael Boxbergen. I didn't expect for him to be here because he said that he's retired for the last 6 years. So it's a really welcome meet this time around. So it's good to see you. So they came to me in 2006, and remember 2006, the first study by Bruno was published in New England Journal, and Martin Verhoeven only presented his PEPCAT 1 and 2 in TCT in 2007. So it was very early. But we said we'll jump at the proposal because a study in Malaysia, that's a bit unusual. But we did it. This was really a physician-initiated study. We wanted to do it in de novo diabetic lesions, comparing bare metal stents with drug-coated balloon with bare metal stents versus Texas. And the protocol was finalized somewhere in June of 2006. We got approval and we recruited our first patient in May 2007 and completed the recruitment in January 2009. Now, it was very difficult because, firstly, diabetics in our setup tends to be long, and we limited the lesion to be fairly short. And obviously, that era, the drug-eluting stents was so strong, and it was sometimes difficult to convince even our investigators to recruit much more. But we got it published in the end. No difference in terms of late ligament loss between both arms, and 0.51 versus 0.53, numerically favoring the drug-coated balloon and bare metal stents. With that, Malaysia was involved in a number of studies, and these are a few samples of it. And some of my colleagues are over here. But we were quite proud to be involved in the first in men, sirolimus-coated balloon versus paclitaxel-coated balloon in the treatment of DS, ISR, and again, the data is already out, and there was no difference in it. But what we did was, since then, we had early adopters. And these are people who are willing to commit to the use of DCB. It was not very easy. It started very slowly. Kamaraj, you're not in because obviously you're so young and still very young. I missed out Dr. Kenneth Chin, who passed away in June this year, but he is also a proponent of drug-coated balloon. But what it entails is that the champions were really from the training centers. And you can well imagine, they've got lots of fellows, and these fellows, when they leave, they continue to do work in drug-coated balloons. So in their practice, they still continue to do it. And over time, their practice also increased in terms of the number of usage of drug-coated balloons in the number of patients. So that was, I think, a plus point. We had good experience. I just recall this and keep showing patients. This is a lady who had a diabetic, who had drug-eluting stent cipher. She lasted about 6 years, and that was very good. And we were actually, we got it in 2002 in May, just after EuroPCR, and we were implanting way and above what is recommended. So this lady came back with in-stent restenosis. She was treated with 3 long sequent pleas, and she was restarted in 9 months down the line, and subsequently came back with angina 67 months later, and there was only a short in-stent restenosis at a part that was treated with DS. So something which is meaningful. We also tried to propagate this technology over the years in meetings, conferences like Malaysia Live, recently even with Asia PCR and other meetings. We were exposed to international meetings, and this is where a number of us who were believers, who were doing work in DCB, went out to share our knowledge and experience with the outside world. We had sharers and beliefs, and a number of them are here. And they came over to share with us. We remember giving, France a live case in Malaysia Live. We will see what to give. Let's give him a fairly simple and safe lesion. So it's a circumflex lesion, and the patient did very well. France, don't mind us with it because we were very early on. But now it has gone on to treat the more difficult lesions. We also reciprocated by going out from the country to other countries, especially in the Asia-Pacific region, to share our expertise at the same time. It is also important because the work that we have done, we were quite prominent in terms of writing the Asia-Pacific Consensus Report, the second one which was published this year. You've seen Professor He here and Professor Shin here, and Professor He who are important in terms of writing the consensus report. So we had 2 consensus reports. I just want to share with you some snippets of the data that we got from our own Malaysian National Cardiovascular Registry, in this case for PCI. We analyzed them about 2 or 3 years, and the last one for 2021 and 2022 was published this year. These are the number of cases that we have done over the years. Not all hospitals in Malaysia has recruited into the registry, but a majority of them are now on board. So we've seen that there are increasing number of patients and procedures. We have got about 45% of our patients being diabetic. So it is an important aspect that we try not to see whether we can get away from treating these lesions. The patients tend to have diffuse lesions, small vessels. And when we look at our own data with regards to the lesion length, we have got lesions length which was fairly long. And you can see that over time, we're treating much longer lesions. And if you have got an indicator with the stent size, it's about 3.0. So our patients' size are much lower than or smaller than patients in the Western population. So these are the types of devices we use. So devices are really stents and drug-coated balloon. And when you look at over the years, the drug-eluting stent still remains an important aspect, but you can see that it has reduced over the last couple of years. Bare metal stents are obviously no longer here, but we see a significant rise in the use of drug-coated balloons. And it's expected that this year we will probably be using about 45% of the devices will be drug-coated balloons. The balloons are mainly used for single vessel disease, 1 out of 4 in patients with multiple vessel disease. And the number of drug-coated balloons now that we have sirolimus is about 10%. At least about 3 years ago, I believe that it might be a bit more down. So just to share with you, this is our own hospital experience. And you can see that over the number of years this year, at least until September, the use of drug-eluting stent is less than 40%. Mainly, they are used together with drug-eluting stents and DCB as hybrid procedures, but in pure DCB, at least until September this year, we are now reaching 15%. So in total, DCB is used in about 60% of our patients. So how do we do it? I think we first started with a trial. And I believe strongly that with any new technology, especially with DCB, to challenge DS, we need to have the right science behind it. And when we coalesced together as a group, we were trying to stimulate each other. And then we had these champions that formed over time. And these champions grew. And the fact that they are also in training centers, they were training their fellows, and these fellows went out to do more work on DCBs. And when they went to other hospitals, they also set this time. Sorry for taking time. The exposure to technology is required, I think, very important, and gain of confidence in the proper way of doing the procedure. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how we did it, with commitment and conviction. Thank you very much, Franz and Bruno. Sorry.